Yes, good morning everyone. Welcome to the SST class Geography. We were reading the chapter Measuring Distance. Continuing reading from the topic Measuring Distance through Maps. The space between any two places is called distance. कोई भी दो प्लेसेस के बीच में जो भी स्पेस होगा जब हम उसको मेजर करेंगे तो हम उसको किस टर्म्स में डिफाइन करेंगे? डिस्टेंस के टर्म में. The system used in India to measure distance is called the metric system. Metric systems, which includes the long distance in kilometers and short distance in meters. The distance shown on a map is measured in centimeters or inches. Thus, the distance between two cities or countries on a map is measured in inches or centimeters. As you can see in the map, you can't measure a distance from in this map. You can't measure the distance of Madhya Pradesh to Maharashtra through a meter or kilometer. You have to use the unit centimeters or inches because it is shown in large scale map. Then when the distance between any two places on a map is measured along a straight line, it is known as the map distance. Very simple. When you measure the distance between two places on a map is called the map distance. It is drawn on a map. When the distance is measured on the ground along a straight line, it is known as the ground distance. Simply, when you measure a distance on a ground or a road is known as ground distance. The ratio between the map distance and the ground distance is known as the scale of the map. The ratio in sense, when you take the fraction, you will take map distance upon ground distance. It will be equal to scale of a map. Next, suppose the scale of a map is 1 centimeter ratio 10 centimeter. It means that distance. Now just understand this one. When it is given to you that 1 centimeter is this is a sign of ratio 10 kilometer. This means, for example, let's suppose the distance from Delhi to Mumbai is 10 kilometer, which is on ground. But when you see it on a map, you measure it as 1 centimeter. As you all know, 10 kilometer is greater than 1 centimeter. Okay, so map distance is always less than the ground distance. Same reason, because it is drawn on a large scale. So in the scale, the numerator, which is above the fraction sign, it is numerator, this is denominator. The numerator will always 1. Okay, the denominator in this case will be 10. In each case, the numerator will be 1. Okay, it means that a distance of 1 centimeter between two places map is equal to a distance of 10 kilometer between the two places on the ground. Both are same, 1 centimeter and 10 kilometers. Representing a scale on a map. There are 3 ways of representing a scale on a map. First, by a statement, second by a representative fraction, and third by a graphic or linear scale. By a statement, in this method, the scale is given in words on a map. It is represented in statement or words. For example, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 kilometer. Like this, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 kilometer. According to this statement, 1 centimeter is the map distance because it is in lesser units, while 10 kilometer is the corresponding ground distance. You can easily show that the lesser unit will be always of map distance and the greater unit is of ground distance. This is an easy method of representing representing distance, when we represent distance in words or statements, by a representative fraction, when you give it a representation of fraction. In this method, the ratio between the map distance and the ground distance is represented by a fraction. जब हम एक फ्रैक्शन से रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं दोनों के डिस्टेंस को, whose numerator is always 1, as I have told before, the upper given unit is always 1. This is known as the representative fraction or the RF value. Now let's understand what is RF value. The RF is given as this. You can see the numerator is 1. It will always be 1, and the denominator can be any value. In this example, the numerator is 1 is the map distance and the denominator represent the ground distance. In other words, you can say that the denominator is always the map distance, which is 1. Okay, so the RF value is map distance upon ground distance. What is the RF value, which is known as representative fraction? It is equal to map distance upon ground distance. This fraction is simply the ratio of the both. इस फ्रैक्शन को जब हम इसको सॉल्व करेंगे ना, जैसे हमारे पास इसकी वैल्यू है 1/100, then we got the ratio which is 1:100. It is just the fraction. Don't confuse with the word ratio. Next, unlike the other scale, the unit of measurement often not given in representative fractions. In this, the units are not mentioned. This allows us to apply any unit of measurement to the choice. For example, 1 cent, we can apply any unit of our choice. This gives us this type of representation gives us the relaxity of applying any unit of our choice. However, the denominator and denominator must be same. कोई भी यूनिट हम लगाएंगे वो डिनोमिनेटर और डिनोमिनेटर की सेम लगाएंगे. ऐसे नहीं करेंगे कि ऊपर सेंटीमीटर और नीचे किलोमीटर. नो, दिस इज नॉट द करेक्ट वे. नेक्स्ट, by a graphic or linear scale method. This is so simple. When you are representing a scale or a distance, representation through a line or a graphic is the graphical scale method. Read this. In this method, the map distance is shown with the help of a straight line. When you show a distance with the help of a straight line, this line is further divided into parts called primary divisions. Like, very simple. Let's suppose there is a distance. When it is divided into primary divisions, this is the primary divisions. So now let's consider the first primary division and divide it into the 2 divisions. So this one will be secondary because it is divided to